So we're gonna play some Last Things Last. This is the kind of introductory, if you've never played Delta Green campaign to do. It's one of the things actually from the folks behind Delta Green. It's a pre-written thing. I did not come up with this myself. You two are still relatively new to the whole Delta Green thing, and since we're kind of doing a little one-off thing, I figured this might be a great little crash course in the Delta Greeniness of it. So yeah. Who are you two playing?
I guess, are we still playing our same characters, or we can...
Yes, we're playing our same characters.
Alright, I'm Agent MK. Okay.
What is Agent MK's whole thing?
I'm a doctor. I'm not very creative with these things. I'm a doctor who likes guns, and got wrapped up into this because I had a patient. Yeah, and got wrapped up. Had a patient who was an agent, had some weird injuries that weren't consistent with any real human trauma, human caused trauma, and the more I uncovered, I figured it'd just be easier to wrap me into the organization.
Sure.
Or kill me, so I chose being wrapped into the organization.
Delta Green's good that way. It's kind of a join or die type of scenario.
Yeah, so it's like, well, I learned more than I needed to. I guess I'm now working for you guys.
This is what you get for sticking your fat nose in where it didn't belong, Doctor.
Oh, yes. He came to my clinic, or he came to my ER, injured. I didn't expect it would be an alien attack.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go now?
Yeah.
So, I am Benjamin Ben Ham. I am a 36-year-old white dude from Portland. I work for the FBI as kind of a lab geek that specializes in engineering, chemistry, and biology. Engineering is the more specialty, but chemistry and biology is fairly close. Kind of a not like, how can I describe him? He's not subtle, but in a weird way where not a lot of use of metaphors, stuff like that. He's very
concrete. He's concrete.
Yeah, very concrete, but not like in a stoic way, but just,
if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he doesn't, everything he takes at face value.
Yeah. So, that being said, one of the things he does to break himself out of that mindset when he gets into some problem solving is to microdose acid. So, hence his name, Agent Microdose.
Agent Microdose.
Yeah, we will not get into that necessarily as part of this, but I have plans for what acid plus Delta Green might equal.
Well, my character happens to dabble in acid for really getting into some deep thinking kind of thing when it comes to problem solving.
The big tech billionaire kind of like, it's only a little bit of acid constantly throughout the day.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but yeah, so that's what he does when he's getting into really sciencey stuff and he's trying to break out of his face value.
Majestic 12 bullshit. I don't know what that is necessarily.
So, beyond that, he's very at face value. Maybe we'll pop a joke here and there, but for the most part, yeah, he's very, I guess, bland would be a good way to describe him.
Yeah, maybe mildly on the spectrum, so to speak.
Yeah, mildly.
Yeah.
Let's get to it then. So this is kind of an introductory scenario. We're going to treat it like an introductory scenario, so you guys are kind of, however you've wound up becoming part of Delta Green is inconsequential. This is a nice kind of beginner thing, if you will. You both kind of receive some kind of weird, spammy-seeming ads for some travel documentation. It's come for a romantic vacation in Hawaii. You've been warned that you'll be receiving from Delta Green lots of invitations to come to Hawaii, and this is actually kind of your indication that, hey, they have a job for you. You have been selected for this job. You find out after a quick call with your handler that you're just the closest agents around to this specific job. It's real simple. Get to the city of get to Moose Kill, upstate New York, and someone will meet you there, kind of thing. Like it'll be real simple, kind of 24 hours. They've arranged for everything, kind of thing. Like it's take a vacation day or two if you need to, tops. This should be a real quick in out. You're just kind of cleaning up after an old agent. Don't worry about it too much. Just some light containment work. So, what do? You kind of follow through with this? You go home, kiss the wife and kids goodbye, for lack of a better phrase, and go up to Deerkill, New York?
Well, I got a float doctor who's ready to pop in, so I'm probably going to give him a call. He's retired, but he likes to kind of hop into these things, keep his scorecard. So he'll be able to cover me for a few days.
All right, so your character works in the private sector, for lack of a purpose. I know like medical is kind of a weird thing to call the private sector, but he does not work for a
he doesn't work for the government, or he doesn't work in he doesn't work for the government.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a private hospital or private clinic.
Sure.
Well, as far as my character goes, I live alone. I do keep in tabs with my parents to see how they're doing. So, as far as lab work goes, I'm pretty caught up with any current investigation stuff that they have me looking into as far as lab geek stuff. So I'm solid there. I'll let them know I'm just going to take a 3-day weekend. They can reach me on my cell if they need me. So I just send my boss an email and let him know. He says, all right, no worries. So I go home, make sure my dog's okay because I have a dog. Let my parents know to check in on my dog over the weekend because they live in town. So yeah, and that's pretty much it for me. I get my stuff and then I pack my kit. I always kind of, just as like a generic sciencey kit I bring with me for little investigative stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But, yeah.
Your CI kit.
Yep.
I'm gonna kind of hand wave the plane stuff, so because this is last things last, it's whatever. So you arrive in Albany, New York, and you get your rental cars, and you kind of drive upstate, closer to the Canadian border, to one Deerkill, New York. This is a town that you could say winter never totally leaves. Like its summers are short, its falls are confusing, its springs are mostly mud and kind of ick. And you're kind of there late October, but it's already kind of a little bit winter. There's a little bit of snow on the ground, or there's remnants of snow on the ground. The ground is starting to freeze up some. It's cold. You can see your breath. It's definitely not a tourist town or really tourist season, even if this town did have such a thing. But you are headed for the Deerkill post office.
All right.
That's where you've been told you will get your briefing for this.
Cool.
All right, so you get there and you meet a woman named Miss Pine. Miss Pine's kind of a middle-aged woman. She's a little tired-looking, kind of about what you'd expect from kind of a typical kind of federal lifetime bureaucrat of some kind. She doesn't really give a lot of information about herself. She's dressed in a pantsuit. She's going gray a little bit, kind of in that like weird transition to not quite a 30-year-old woman anymore, not quite a 50-year-old woman, that kind of weird zone where kind of certain parts of you age a little faster and some parts of you age a little bit slower. And yeah, she's been expecting you. So you kind of get in there, you go into a little conference room, and she lays some stuff out for you. All right, so welcome to Delta Green. Welcome to the program. This will be a real easy first kind of introductory towards this. We need you to kind of run some cleanup on former Delta Green agent named Clyde Bauman. Before you ask, nothing sinister happened. Clive died of a natural heart attack in his apartment, kind of thing. He's just an old agent, and old agents kind of seem to have a tendency to kind of have some stuff around. It's gonna be a quick in and out. We have a dossier on him here for you if you so want it. Most of you kind of making sure he kept up with program kind of rules. And we also need to go through and make sure we didn't leave anything of note that might be a problem. There's the handout.
Little posthumous sweep.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh. Yeah.
I gotta say, it's kind of neat. It popped up on there.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. Yeah. IRS agent.
I do this well occasionally. Yeah, so for those listening to this in audio or those who are listening to this, we just popped up a handout. It reads Clyde Bauman, date of birth 3/28/1945, family, wife Marlene, 8/20, August 20th, 1948 to November 11th, November 2nd, 2002. Daughter Sharon, born September 12th, 1967. Son Michael, born July 28th, 1974. He used to work for the IRS. He was an active member of Delta Green in kind of the 60s, and he's been a friendly ever since, which kind of friendly is people that are either aware of Delta Green or were formerly part of Delta Green, but are no longer for whatever reason.
Okay. Gotcha. Basically kind of like an emeritus agent.
Sure. That's I'm not quite sure I know what that is, actually.
Oh, emeritus means like kind of like they've done it for a lot of years and now they're kind of retired but not fully retired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you kind of lean on them once in a while, but really not very much, and then they retire.
Sure. Yeah. No. He's friendlies in Delta Green can range from like people that are being actively blackmailed to people that just are kind of sympathetic to what Delta Green's about. And it can range from like dude who just is like a sanitation worker who like keeps tabs on an especially suspicious lab to guy who's like, yeah, I have nuclear launch codes. And how are you a friendly? I just am. And if you ever need something nuked, I can make it happen once.
I can make it happen once, like a get out of jail free card one time.
Kind of, yeah, but
it's like a reset.
I exaggerate some for comedic effect, but yeah. Not all friendlies know they're actually working for that. A lot of them think they're working for the CIA or FBI in some indirect way or some like secret Homeland Security thing. Obviously, because Clyde was a member of Delta Green, he is all up and up in what Delta Green is indeed about. And he was an active agent at one point. So yeah, like from 1967 to 1970, he was an active agent for Delta Green. Not the longest career with the agency, but also it's a rough job, which doesn't not make sense. Yeah, so taped to this little thing is a key to his apartment. You have the address for all that stuff. Like, again, you're just going in to kind of do some cleanup if need be. Like, people keep trophies, people do research. Like, the last thing Delta Green needs is a bunch of kind of family members showing up and finding, like, what are inherently not dangerous files, but, like, when put together in a giant stack, expose something about the organization of some kind by accident.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Parts hanging out from a bookshelf.
Yeah. Or just stuff that an IRS agent normally wouldn't have in stock with them.
Bingo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, perfectly normal heart attack, or massive heart attack, but like enough to kill him almost instantly. But no foul play, no like hit squad was sent out after him as far as the agency is concerned. Like just go through, clean some stuff up, see if there's any weird artifacts lying around or whatever, and close the case on it. Just kind of little post-death cleanup, if you will. Probably something that will happen to all of us as we make our way through Delta Green.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay. Mrs. Pine? Can I call you Mrs. Pine? What do I call you?
That is my name, yes.
Okay. Anybody that lives in the home currently?
It's part of an apartment building, so he lived by himself. As you can see, his wife died back in 2002. So yeah, he's been on his own for a little while.
Okay.
No, he has neighbors, which here's a key, so you're not kind of busting down the door, I guess. But like, obviously the goal of this is discretion and to not make a lot of noise. Like, you're not burning down the apartment or anything like that before you get any wild ideas in your head.
Okay. Any pets?
By the way, am I sorry, going meta here. Am I already acquainted with Agent Microdose?
That's up to you guys, I guess. If you guys want to play off kind of meeting each other, go for it. Yeah.
You want to kind of do like a how do you want to do this? Do you want to do this like a
Let's do meeting up for the first time. This is technically like yeah.
All right, so I show up and I'm just like, I see Miss Pine clearly talking to someone who I'm very clearly aware is another agent. So I walk up and I'm like, "Hey, I'm also here to assist."
Oh
with
yeah, the Delta Green
cleanup.
stuff. Yeah.
Agent
But
Microdose,
cleanup.
Agent MK, Agent MK, Agent Microdose. That's all I
Hello.
can tell
And
you about each other.
yeah. So yeah.
You were
So
literally the closest agents to the job.
all right. It's nice to meet you, Agent Microdose.
Yeah. Nice. Pleasure to meet you. I guess we're working together this first time, so that'll be fun. I look forward to getting to know you.
Likewise. Hopefully we won't die prematurely.
I would like not to die, actually.
You're just cleaning up an apartment. What's the worst thing that could happen?
Mrs. Pine, am I going to die on this mission?
You're just cleaning up an apartment. What's the worst that could happen? Like, are you prone to near fatal paper cuts? Like, are you so accident prone I should be walking up and down stairs? Like, you made a
I don't
terrible
know.
mistake.
In our line of supernatural work, our
Okay, so a point on that. At this point in your career at Delta Green Agents, you wouldn't necessarily kind of know the broad scope of that. Like you're in here because you saw some weirdness. You don't necessarily fully like. It's up to everyone kind of how they want to play this.
The patient I helped, my buddy, yeah, he didn't last very long once I figured out what had happened to him. So,
well, I'm fairly new to this. It's just nice to get out of the lab every once in a while.
hey, well, you know what? We got each other's backs. That'll buy us a couple extra years.
Sure.
Welcome to the field, gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully this will be pretty routine. I imagine we could probably just pretend to be probate attorneys or something.
That is up to you how you choose to handle this. Part
We'll
of your
discuss it
effectiveness in this agency will be how well you can improvise in the field effectively.
Okay.
Did he have any pets, particularly ones that may be able to move around and make noise, like a dog, for example?
Not that we're aware of. He's been dead for 4 days, so hypothetically, if he did have any pets, someone's come through to claim them.
I was going to say this is above board, right? In the sense that like he's probably at the morgue. He's not just.
No. Totally natural causes, as natural as a heart attack can be.
Okay, so we should
apparently
to run into the gentleman question in the apartment.
Are you asking if you're expecting to see his ghost?
No. His that is actually also a good question, but no, I meant more so just like he's dead, but his remains are now under the mortuary custody. Like it's we're not having to like his family knows about it. Like this is
yes, Agent MK. We're doing this so his family doesn't learn about the rest of what he used to do.
Okay. Hey,
are you expecting zombies in his closet or something like that?
No, it's just after a couple days of a body being in an apartment, the chance of the body kind of started to decompose and particularly put out a bunch of scents and smells is not particularly appealing, especially for pretending to be lawyers. I know from experience that those bodies smell pretty bad, and I would like to avoid that, especially when I'm traveling back home and I don't want to smell like a dead body. I didn't bring that many changes of clothes.
Yeah. I also don't want to get possessed by a dead agent either.
There's no such things as ghost agents, Agent MK.
Miss Pine. All right.
Well, there might be, but I highly doubt you'll encounter any. Ghost's perspective. Yeah.
It's a purely like functional decision on that one.
Well, so which one of you is driving?
Drive.
I'll drive since my name's on the car.
I was gonna say I'd recommend which one of you has the higher drive skill. Probably is one that should drive.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mine's at 20.
And then mine is drive.
Second to last one on the left.
So I guess it's whoever rented the car, I think, since we're both
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want to do on this one.
Oh,
Just
I'll
bring it up to
drive.
drive skill.
Yeah.
Hey, on ahead, Agent Microdose.
Okay.
Just make myself comfortable here in the passenger seat.
Cool. So then, I go ahead and start driving on over.
So, Agent Microdose, how do you want to do this? You want to, obviously, this is an apartment complex. We're going to be singing. There's going to be neighbors. Do you want to just kind of, I don't know, pretend we're probate attorneys is probably what I'm suggesting,
Well, I mean, we are dressed kind of okay-ish for that. It'd be weird to take in my lab gear if I'm a probate lawyer.
I know, but if
I
there's
can go is
foul play, well, go on.
you could be the probate lawyer and I can be like a house inspector looking for stuff. Just to kind of, it makes sense because it'd be starting to kind of calculate insurance things like that afterwards. And so, yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense. I think that's very reasonable, yeah.
Plus, I wouldn't have to say anything to the public. They don't like talking to insurance adjusters.
No, yeah, you could be an insurance adjuster, and I'll just be the probate attorney, and we just show up and kind of, anyone asks or anyone looks at us, they'll kind of figure that out or make that assumption.
Plus, I can bring my kit in with me because if I'm inspecting stuff, I can have a kit.
I think that sounds good, and most of my stuff fits in a briefcase. So
perfect. Well, our plan is decided. Let's head on over there. How far are we from where we were originally to this location?
Yeah, we'll say like 10, 15 minutes. It's not a huge town kind of thing.
Okay.
Just gonna drive up.
Yeah, so you go to his apartment?
Yep.
Yeah. Normal enough. It's kind of mid-afternoon by now kind of thing. Like you got to the post office around 2, so we'll say it's like 4 o'clock by now when you arrive after your briefing and stuff. Yeah, so Bowman's home or apartment is completely unremarkable. It's it's a compelling example of 1960s design. It's blocky, it's drab, it's industrial. It's in a working part of town. It's a working class part of town. The exact kind of housing you'd expect a divorced IRS agent to live in. Honestly, like nothing, no frills, nothing to write home about. And if this was your home, you're not writing home anyway, because why bother?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Second floor, first floor, are they all like, is it a single floor complex?
I'm going to say it's a 5-story apartment building. It's on the second floor.
Okay. Open kind of courtyard setup, closed courtyard where I can just, or is
this is a typical kind of middle of nowhere East Coast apartment complex. It's one step away from just being a giant ass house. Like it's.
Okay, I see. So there's no elevators. We just go up the stairs.
Nope. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. So we just shrug along there on the second floor. I guess we look in our dossier and we see where his apartment is, and
yeah, you can find all that stuff out. Like you also have a key to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just go there.
Cool. So then, I will head over there and kind of just be very kind of blend in, not doing anything to stand out. We're just kind of walking over there. I've got my kit with me, of course. Yep.
All right.
And so as soon as I walk in, I'm going to go ahead and put on my gloves. Because I have a pair of lab gloves I wear. And I'm just going to kind of start looking around.
Well, so I guess like before we kind of get into what you're going to do while you're there, this apartment is sad. The only really indication that someone used to live there is that the place smells like cigarette smoke, and kind of the walls and the windows have that ever so faint kind of dye job courtesy of that nicotine off-hail.
Yeah.
A little bit like off-white.
Yeah.
You go through. You're in kind of a living room, dining room, kitchen area space, and there's a little hallway that leads down to the bathroom, and then 2 bedrooms off of that. Kind of looking at that, so you walk to the bathroom, and there the towel rack and the glass for the shower is smashed. You can kind of smell the faint smell of, someone died in here from a massive heart attack and all the fun that comes with it. He definitely decayed in this bathroom for a little while, given the smell you're smelling, kind of thing. One of the bedrooms is turned into kind of his office. The other one's his bedroom. Again, it's kind of a bed, maybe only a mattress on the floor, and like a couple effects. This is some real Spartan living. Like this is some. My life is over. My kids don't call. My wife is dead. I may have not had a great relationship with any of the people I just listed before their mother died, kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, so. Okay, so.
Let's get to our first roll of the night then. So give me a search.
Okay.
Do I roll as well? Yeah, I might as well.
And no modifiers, right?
No modifiers.
Modifiers. Let me pull up my roll. Search.
Oh, by 1.
Do I just and you said no modifiers.
Yeah.
And so when we fail, you put the check mark, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Because you get to get better.
Check mark next to surgery, or sorry, next to search.
Search. Yep.
So put a check mark next to it. Okay.
Yeah. Nah, so while you're looking around, you kind of find in his office just a giant stack of papers. It's a bunch of official documents. It would probably make sense for you to kind of process and go through them. It's gonna take a while, though. What are your accounting scores?
Accounting scores?
Yeah.
Mine is at 10.
Mine's at 10 too.
All right, so I need both of you to roll.
Okay. Accounting, right?
Yep.
The modifier is none?
None.
Oh, I royally fucked up counting.
Didn't do well.
All right, so you make a real mess of this, and this takes a while as a result of that. So you spend a very, very long time going through this. Probably some swearing, some stuff falls over as you kind of stack it up. Like this takes the rest of the afternoon, most of the night. Maybe one of you guys like sleeps on his shitty couch, one of you sleeps in his kind of this took way longer than it should have, kind of thing. Like it's kind of disorganized and a mess, and not really either of your fortes, if you will, but that's fine. As you're going through this, though, you do find some evidence that points to Bauman at one point having a kind of, not off the books, but kind of like slightly off the grid cabin. It's got an address. It mentions that as we're kind of going around the apartment, you find a keychain with a variety of keys on it, one of which is marked cabin. So that's probably the next place you want to check out, kind of as part of this. But yeah, no, like you spend easily kind of 14, 16 hours just going through all of this. And it's, nothing. But at the same time, though, too, you do not find anything here that's inherently kind of a problem. It's just kind of paperwork.
Okay, just a bunch of old tax returns and whatnot. Yeah. Okay. Hey, so Agent Microdose, what do you think I think we kind of exhausted what we could find here. I think we should probably check out that cabin just to be thorough.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't really found much to be interesting. In fact, I think we're kind of back where we are, so it's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's like 6, 7 a.m. the following morning kind of thing, like the sun's starting to rise. It's, yeah.
Huh. All right, so what do you think we should do? Should we go to the hotel, call it a night, try in the morning, or do you want to just go right ahead to the cabin?
Let's get some sleep. I also want to get breakfast. I don't like functioning without breakfast. It feels weird not having breakfast.
You and me both, my friend. All right, let's go to the nearby diner. That sound good?
Okay. That sounds good to me.
I guess the only thing around here that's open 6 in the morning.
Yeah. Is there anything nearby that's open? I'm going to pull out my phone and see on Google Maps if there's anything open nearby.
So give me a luck roll, actually, on that.
Luck roll?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was up there. Okay. Roland?
Oh, there you go.
No modifier, right?
No modifier. You can't modify luck.
Oh.
Jeez.
You don't even have good signal. This town is so remote. You're at like one bar, but barely.
Hey, so I guess let's just drive around the center of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Give me a search. Whoever's driving.
Sure.
All right. This is me.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
see. All right. Yeah, so you drive around a little bit, and again, like small town, not a ton of options. It's also fairly early in the morning, but yeah. So you find yourself in something called the Scallywag Diner. It's old. It's kitsch. It's not kitsch to be ironic. It's kitsch because it was made that way. It's now starting to fall apart. And yeah, no, you're there. The coffee's kind of chewy. The eggs are runny and rubbery simultaneously. The pancakes are slightly burnt, which you didn't necessarily know. Someone give me an alertness check.
Alertness check. Okay. Oh God. Wait,
Holy shit.
did I not do? Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do mine
That's
as well.
wow. You bombed that alertness real hard.
Yeah, I think
And I failed too.
take a nap on this table.
Neither of you did great on that one, apparently.
Nope. And I'm going to go ahead and put alertness failure.
Indeed.
Or just put a checkbox next to that too.
All right, so without provocation, 66-year-old woman just kind of sits down. Are you guys at a booth or at a table?
Let's do a booth.
Yeah,
I'll
booth
do it.
works.
All right, so you're at a booth and she kind of like sits down or kind of like walks up to the table. What were you doing in my neighbor's apartment? I recognize you. You're not from town.
So at this point, I just say, "Hey, I'm with his insurance. I'm one of the probate attorneys, and this is my colleague.
Hello.
And he is one of the insurance assessors."
I saw you gentlemen go into his apartment. You only just left. Did you sleep in that disgusting apartment of that horrible man?
No, it's that he has a lot of extensive tax records. We need to kind of go through there. He actually also has assets elsewhere in the country, so it takes a lot of reviewing, and categorizing it and cataloging it so that it can be appropriately processed through probate.
Clyde had assets.
Yes, he did.
That's what we're here to figure
You were
all out.
in that man's apartment. He barely owned a sofa and a TV.
I mean, he had assets. He had assets out west, and also he had lots of tax documents that needed, again, to be sorted out and cataloged. So that's
What kind of assets out west?
We aren't really at liberty to speak to you unless you're a member of the family or a household.
Yeah, sorry.
So this one's kind of getting a little bit annoyed. She's definitely a bit of a busybody. Yeah, what do you want to do, kind of thing? Like, she's probably not going to leave you alone necessarily. So what's the plan?
So I'm going to pull. I'm going to pull my notepad and say, and what was your name again, ma'am?
Miss Janowitz. I've been that foul man's neighbor for years now. I shouldn't speak ill of the dead. It's a real tragedy how he died and just got left there for 3 days. Entire apartment smelled like hell because of him.
I gotta ask, Miss, what was so horrible about him? I don't know anything.
Smoked. He was gruff. He was rude. Again, you've been in his apartment. You saw how he lived. The man's been, well, I feel bad saying it again, but the man's been dead for years, and he let everyone else around him know it. I saw him kick a dog once.
Oh God. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, well.
Okay. And what apartment are you in, ma'am?
I'm the green door down the hall from Clyde's place.
Okay. All right. Well, we will. There's no section to really add anything about his behavior, but we can definitely take into adjustment kind of his way of living. So thank you for that. I will put that in the files.
Do you gentlemen have a card I can get? It's not often we have people stop by the apartment of a dead man, and I wouldn't be being a good neighbor if I didn't do my due diligence.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't really have cards with me. We don't really go around handing that. We're assigned to this simple cataloging, posthumous cataloging case. Sorry.
No cards? Really? Okay, so I guess to kind of go table talky for a second. Remember, part of your job is to be a tad incognito. So this is going to be a time to practice your spy craft, for lack of a better phrase.
Okay.
Looking for kind of persuade rolls, as you kind of know the way I run these things, is if you can weave me a good story to kind of get yourself out of this, I'll give you an
Sure.
advantage on the roll kind of thing. If not,
Okay.
yeah, we'll roll
So
normal.
what do you need to roll for this? Do I roll persuade?
This will be persuade, but you want to try and like talk your way out first before we just
Yeah.
go straight to rolling
So, I
numbers.
mean, I don't unfortunately have my cards with me, but I can direct you to our webpage.
Oh,
Yes, it's www.hillcrest probate attorneys at law. We're
just
based out
writing
of
this down
Colorado.
frantically on a piece of paper.
Mhm.
We're based out of Colorado.
You've come so far to look at Clive's apartment.
Well, I mean, it's
Our client.
we're part of a bigger group. It's kind of a subgroup, if you will, kind of like how you have Long's Drugstore, but it belongs to Safeway or Save On as a whole.
Yeah, we're actually out from Albany, but the firm is based out of Colorado.
Aha.
If you'd like, I mean, since I have your name and your apartment, once I get back to my hotel, I can go ahead and salvage up a card. Just because I was planning on handing out my cards to an empty apartment, I can go ahead and just bring one to you later on.
Aha. All right, now's the time for the persuade.
Okay.
Okay. All right, persuade. No modifiers again.
No modifiers.
Hey,
Oh, final. Oh man. Okay.
you got the
All right,
success.
so Agent Microdose, you do not do a great job of kind of making the story stick, but maybe it's Agent MK's honest face, maybe it's his demeanor, maybe it's his practice working with the elderly as a doctor, but some part of this bullshit you kind of woven seems to work. She may not remember you, but she'll remember that there were two gentlemen in kind of her neighbor's apartment kind of thing. Like she maybe won't quite remember your faces, but you could have handled the situation potentially better. Definitely worse though too. So it's probably fine. Nothing bad will come from this most likely. But she kind of waddles off and gets in her car and assumably drives back to her place, leaving you kind of with the other early crowd members of the diner.
Okay.
So what's the
I guess-
plan? Like you gotta check. You just gonna go to the apartment. You got not the apartment. You just gonna go to the cabin. Like what you gonna do?
Well, we're probably gonna go into the hotel. We haven't gotten a hotel yet, but we can go to a hotel.
Yeah, it's like 8 a.m. in the morning at this point. It's still really early.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I agree with Agent Margaret. Probably should do breakfast, probably take a nap, and then probably head out.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you go to like what type of hotel you going to? Like a nice one, one you have to, one you can pay cash to. Like what's the plan?
No, we go to a hotel where we can kind of 3-star, something in between.
Okay, so like if you go to something that nice, like how you paying for it? Using your real credit cards? You have like some fake credit cards you can use, or like some prepaid cards? What's the plan on this one?
Well, it brought me a fair bit amount of cash, and we're only going to stay for a couple nights, so I think we can wing that.
Remember, most hotels require you to put a credit card down for incidentals and stuff like that. Like any reputable hotel,
That's a good
one of
point.
it will generate a real paper trail.
Okay. And I have a separate account that's just for, Delta Green expenses, so just use that card.
But you're using a real account still and stuff like that, like a real credit card and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a real credit card.
Okay. That's still gonna leave a paper trail for the record.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, do I have an alias card or a fake credit card?
that's kind of up to you. Like, again, you're a doctor, so the chances of you having like a fake social security number and stuff like that, like, at the same time, you would have access to a bunch of potential like client social security numbers. Like, are you gonna go through the process of like stealing someone's identity for the exact purposes of this? And like, maybe that's a thing you will do eventually, but like, I think at this point in time, you're not doing that yet.
No. Well, got a prepaid card. Use that.
Okay.
Like those vanilla Visa cards.
That's makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, I'll just go with pretty much the same thing.
All right.
So yeah, we you want to just do like a single bed, single room, 2 beds?
That works for me.
Okay, that'll save on money. Okay, and then we can also brainstorm and plan. Much easier if we need to.
So what names do you check in under? Like, use aliases? Like the I guess like what you doing on this one?
So me and Microdose, before we go in, we discussed this. So how about you want to just, I could be MK Johnson.
Oh, okay. And I will be Ben Johnson.
All right. We are a gay couple.
So a gay couple that sleeps in 2 separate beds.
We are.
We had a fight on the way.
We are cousins. There we go.
Yeah.
Cousins. Yeah. We're going to a family reunion. Okay, yeah. So we kind of stick with that. Does that sound good?
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Ben Johnson?
Yeah, Ben Johnson.
All right, Ben. Let's go.
All right, so we walk into, is it like a motel setup? What is it we're going to here? I forget. It's something low-key.
I fully admit I'm not totally sure what I know what a 3-star hotel looks like. I'm assuming it's like a Holiday Inn at minimum or something.
That's the kind of, yeah, exactly. Like kind of like a not the premier Holiday Inn, but like kind of like your average
Holiday Inn Express.
There you go.
Exactly. There we go. Holiday Inn Express.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, like let's go with that. Something of that nature. I know Alex's beef with the Red Roof Inn company.
Yeah. Yep.
Actually, no, I read it. It's a Red Roof Inn. It's absolutely a Red Roof Inn.
What? Fine. My character doesn't have a disdain for it, but I do as a mic. In the meta, I have a disdain for these guys.
You gotta tell me the story sometime.
Oh, every fucking Motel 6 I've ever stayed at has been awful. But anyway, I don't know. Can I share it really quick, or should we continue?
The simple version is you had a roof cave in on you at one point.
I didn't have a roof cave in. I had water leaking from the hotel room above me because the above room got flooded, and they didn't tell us until we had water in our bathroom coming in from the ceiling, and they said they were drying everything out, and they emptied the apartment. Later on, to behold, in the middle of the night, in the actual bedroom of the motel, we had more water leak from the ceiling. Literally like a waterfall down the middle between the beds, luckily.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and when I went to tell them, they're like, oh, well, sorry. No changing rooms, nothing. Then I told the morning crew about it because I went there and was like, hey, just so you guys know, like, we had water come to the ceiling in the middle of the night. And they're like, oh, that's why that hotel room is blacked out right now. So the morning crew didn't even fucking know that the evening crew had shut that room down from water leakage.
All right, so because you've now told that story, I'm going to need to see a luck roll.
Fuck Motel 6.
Yeah. I have a different with Motel 6, but that works.
Hey!
The ceiling in your room is not leaking water slowly.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, and before I forget, the other Motel 6 I stayed at was one when I went to Charlie's wedding, and the power went out around the city block, and I couldn't go to sleep because my CPAP requires power to run.
Oh God.
So the room lost power,
Okay, fine. You convinced me. You're staying at a Holiday Inn Express. This is too tragic to inflict on your characters.
No, I already did the luck roll, so I'm okay.
Fair
I
enough.
succeeded on that, but I don't. My character has no gripe with this motel. But let me tell you, in the meta, fuck Motel 6.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so we're staying at a Holiday Inn Express.
No, Motel 6. Alex pulled that luck roll out of his ass. Like, Asian Microdose passed that luck check. You're staying in the only Motel 6 ever that's had a functioning service staff, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, this is like Schitt's Creek.
Oh, Schitt's Creek. That's kind of great, actually. I like
The
that.
only Motel 6 that no one has been murdered at yet.
Lowest mortality rate in the country.
Of Motel 6s,
Yeah, asterisks with Motel 6s.
Yeah.
No one dead in 6 days. Woot.
Motel 6s aren't that bad, but maybe they are in this town.
They are if you're fucking me and you stay there.
That's fair.
2 for 2 on those shitty places, but yeah.
Just all the bodies are chopping up in the bathrooms.
Fucking A, dude.
6.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, so let's get back to it, I suppose. So, you shower, you do the sleeping, you kind of take a nap. Like, what are you doing at the hotel? I guess, or motel? I think it's more accurate.
Well, I am going to brush my teeth and take a nap.
So when I was in the apartment earlier, I had put on gloves. So what I'm going to do is, since I put those gloves away when we left, I'm going to go ahead and run some quick chemical tests on it, just to see if I find anything out of the ordinary, since I was touching all the stuff with those gloves in that apartment.
All right. So you do that. I'm going to lay down for a couple hours, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, I'll be in bed in a minute. I just need to do my usual rounds on this kind of stuff. So, yeah, I want to go ahead and do all that cool science stuff.
All right, let's see a forensics check on this.
Okay. It wouldn't fall under like science, chemistry, or anything.
In the background.
I guess, like, so what are you trying to do? I guess maybe the more accurate question. Are you running like a full forensics battery on this? Like, what are you looking
Pretty
for?
much, yeah. Like just kind of checking for any weird chemicals or residue and things like that, and perhaps handling all his stuff.
Let's go with forensics for now.
Okay. Nope. Ain't found shit.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you were looking for, I guess. Again, like, nothing in the apartment suggested this wasn't just a tragic, massive heart attack. Like,
Yeah.
you probably feel a little bit gross from kind of touching the cigarette-smoked carpets kind of thing. But beyond that, like, nothing about this is inherently suspicious. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah. Well, it's just my usual, like...
No, it totally makes sense. Your character would be like, okay, I'm going to run some forensics just in case kind of thing. Like, it's a paranoia thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm out cold, and I set the alarm for 2 hours.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and lay down after I let my stuff go through. I'm just going to take a quick nap.
All right.
Then 2 hours pass, unless there's something.
No, nothing. Again, like it. You're not hearing something kind of super covert. You're just kind of here to kind of do some basic cleanup. So like nothing's actively looking for you. There's no like international hit squad out there being like, "Yo, we gotta find anyone investigating Clyde's place."
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess what time do you guys want to go start doing stuff? In that noon, 10 a.m. What's the plan?
11 a.m. We wake up.
Okay.
We go to bed at 8. Wake up at 10. Takes about an hour to get ready and get there.
Sure.
Yep. That works for me.
All right.
So we wake up. I wake up. I kind of beckon over to Agent Microdose. I was like, Ben, are you awake?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we should prepare for anything unusual at this remote cabin. So you got your equipment. Do you have a firearm?
I do. I did not bring it with me to the airport though, just because it's not usually something I would bring with me in a just pure investigative thing like this.
So I have a very small firearm I bring with me. So
Okay, so you should have told me that we did the airplane stuff, because you would have had to have go through the whole checking thing. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
saying a
in
doctor
my-
can't bring a gun on a plane, but like, it is a little bit suspicious on paper. A doctor's traveling to the middle of nowhere with a gun.
Well, I mean, it's. I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, if you're carrying it through, I mean, it's one thing if you're carrying it through carry on, but if you're carrying it through check-in, people do that
You
a
just
lot.
have to check everything and stuff like that. Like, there is a directory of like, yo, this guy brought a gun on a plane. Like, it's not like a major directory, but like, it's a thing they keep track of mildly.
Oh, I'm sure they probably do, yes, but I also don't want to be in an area where I get attacked and I have no way to, don't want to get attacked by a Wendigo and not have a way to. I think as an
The gun
agent,
does nothing.
it's appropriate for us who investigate the supernatural to have some sort of argument.
Sure. Just
It's
saying.
not-
Okay, so is the plan to remedy your lack of armaments, or is the plan to kind of just go after the cabin at this point?
We go to the cabin. I mean, unless Agent Microdose objects, just getting basically a check and seeing where we're at before we go in. So yeah. So like, okay, then let's get going. So hop in, have some gas station or have some motel coffee, and then we are on our way out.
All right. So whoever's driving, give me a drive check.
Don't kill us, Microdose.
I make no promises. No.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it. So, the cabin you're going to, you find a map. You kind of manage to piece some stuff together, and you kind of leave civilization relatively quickly. You're on some back roads, sun's coming to some dirt stuff, and it takes a few hours to get there. It actually takes long enough because you get lost a couple times, and the conditions are a little rough, and we're just not used to driving on these kind of mountainous, middle of nowhere roads kind of thing. So I'm gonna say you get there, we'll say 4 or 5 in the afternoon. It takes you kind of fuck up that driving pretty hard, and the sun's starting to set because it's the start of winter in this part of the world, and sunsets early as a result of that. And you find yourself at a cabin. You do follow some power lines kind of to get there ultimately. Like, that's the address it takes you to is at the end of like a long driveway, and that power lines run down to the cabin off of. So as you approach, it is matching his apartment exactly what you think this guy's cabin might be. It is a faux log cabin exterior. The entire thing appears to be out of wood, though. It's connected to a local power grid via power lines, and it's apparently heated by kind of you'd guess like based on the chimney outside of it, a fireplace of some kind.
All right.
You are
Okay.
quite alone in this instance.
Okay, so do we have I don't know if you mentioned that, if I missed it. Do we have a key to the cabin?
You found it.
Yeah, I was in the apartment.
Found a key ring.
Okay, perfect. So then, as usual, before we walk in there, I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on. Just standard my protocol. So, yeah. All right.
All right. Yeah. Bring my briefcase in with my notes, documents, firearm, and we go in.
Okay. So I walk in, and as usual, I kind of just stand there at the doorway for a second, look around, make sure there's nothing kind of out of the ordinary or anything particularly like that could cause harm, just to make sure we can kind of walk around the area. Just because I'm kind of nervous like that.
Yeah, so give me a search check at +20.
Okay.
I'll do a search check as well. Hang on. Search check. Where we go?
Hey.
All right.
Oh, do I do a modifier? Or I guess it already is.
He said with a +20.
It doesn't matter.
+20.
But
I mean,
You wouldn't have passed.
So,
All right, so kind of as you're poking around, taking a little bit more of a look at this place, just a couple more details about the space you're in, kind of now that you've arrived at. This is pretty rustic. There's a well system that's powered to kind of pump water into the house. There's an outhouse, and kind of weirdest of all, there's a partially exposed septic tank. You can kind of see part of the septic tank sticking up out of the ground behind kind of the cabin. But at the same time, this septic tank is big for this kind of setup. Like it's way oversized for what would be useful for this cabin kind of thing.
Any odd odors coming out of there?
The septic tank or the outhouse or what?
The half-exposed septic tank thing you talked about?
Not at the range you're talking about. You'd have to get closer, I think, to check that thing out.
But is it just general sewage coming out of it? Well, I guess we'd have to go closer.
You'd have to get closer to inspect it. There's also a shed, just kind of out back around that same area, too. You want to check inside the cabin first? What's the plan?
Let's check inside the cabin first.
Yeah.
Then we'll go check the septic tank at the last. But we make note of that.
Yeah.
Hey, there's also a totally normal outhouse.
Totally normal.
So, yeah, we walk into there. We're in the cabin now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I kind of start looking around. So I guess, do I start off with another search?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a plus 10 this time.
Okay.
Plus 10.
Custom. Oh, I was wondering where you'd enter that, but right after that, it tells you.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. Oh, yay! Oh,
nice.
Wait.
Oh.
How are you a doctor that you can't find things?
I have to overcome a fucking 86% rate, and he has like a 25% to overcome.
Yeah, like you open this door, like, it's a room, and it's like you don't see anything inside. Apparently, the way your characters
apparently I got really fucking bad cataracts or some shit like that.
All right, so yeah, so Agent MK opens the door and is like, a perfectly normal, definitely nothing weird in here cabin, and Agent Mike just kind of pushes him out of the way, going, idiot, as he kind of actually starts looking around the cabin. So nothing super out of the ordinary, a bunch of kind of secondhand, rundown furniture. There are kind of, what's the right phrase for it? There is one kind of thing that leaps out at you at first, though, and there is kind of a Vietnam-era metal footlocker stored under the bed in the cabin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. Do we still have the dossier with us, kind of thing?
Sorry, say that again?
Do we still have the dossier on him?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he serve in Vietnam by any chance? At all?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay. So it would make sense that
45, so it'd be around the age. Yeah.
Yeah. So he would have he would have fallen into the timeline where he served. Okay. So it's not out of the ordinary to have a Vietnam War footlocker. Okay. I want to check and see if it's locked.
So it is, but there's also a note on top of the footlocker. I'm just resting on top of it, and I will show you that.
Have to do a literacy check.
You've been rolling. No.
He's gonna pick up the note and be like, there's paper.
Agent MK is basically that guy from Westworld that's like looking at a picture, like nothing seems to be here. That's the note you find, though, which I will now read for. It's not the easiest thing to read. To whom it may concern, if you're reading this note, I can assume I have died or become incapacitated before I had the courage to complete my final mission. You will find out about 20 gallons of gas in the shed behind the cabin. Pour it into the septic tank beside the cabin to ignite it. You'd be happy if you didn't look inside. Please make sure that the remains are kept from my children. I am so sorry. God, please forgive me. Clyde Bauman.
So I look at Agent Microdose, and I'm like, so, you want to take a look inside?
Well, I mean, it's our job to kind of figure out what's going on and make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary that gets found. So I guess Yes. Before we do, though, let me go into my kit and put on a mask because I have a feeling what we're going to find may not smell good.
Yeah, I agree. I request
Just because the note says that the remains are kept for my children.
Yeah. So
I'm going to hand you my extra because I carry an extra one with me.
You have an extra because I usually don't carry one around with me, but I will take that.
Here you go. Here's an extra pair of disposable gloves too.
That I will take in this situation. Yes. And
so you're not opening up the Foot Locker though?
We will. It's just we're getting ready to open up a Foot Locker. But we're preparing ourselves.
Gotcha. This is the prepping for the Foot Locker. Got it.
Yes, this is preparing for the Foot Locker. I mean, when you read a note that says, that the remains are kept for my children, I'm just going to assume the worst. Having worked with the FBI and dealing with a lot of this stuff, I'm just going to assume dead body. But we'll see. So, so I go ahead and put on my standard, this is going to be a really bad crime scene gear. So I've got my goggles, I've got my mask, I've got my disposable gloves on. Obviously, I don't have the full regalia with the suit thing, but I will go ahead and inspect the lock to see if it's actually locked. I know we just saw the note, but I don't think we discussed the lock yet.
Yeah, I'll say it's unlocked for the sake of moving this along.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. He's not expecting people to come here, kind of dropping by to ruffle through stuff. All right, so you open up the box, and it's got some kind of mementos and some stuff in there. Some of it's kind of personal Vietnam era stuff that's obviously kind of keepsakes for him, but also there's a little bit of strange in this locker. Most notably of which are a reel-to-reel tape labeled FBI evidence.
Mm-hmm.
A cardboard box containing a very neatly folded but also very bloody man's suit. A book called Sky Devils, Archetypical Figures in Native American Mythology by Karen Barr. It's got a bunch of annotations all over it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
3 tear gas grenades of older make than you're familiar with. A large iron knife with a bone handle. A leather pouch containing hair, teeth, and feathers. A kind of glass sphere. A sizable file regarding the Taja Corporation. Sorry, Vetna Corporation, my bad. And that's kind of what's of note in there.
Okay.
You want to mess with any of this stuff?
Well, I look at Agent Microdose and I was like, you probably want to have something with you, so I hand him the knife.
Okay. So
and then we decide to keep the tear gas as well, in case we need to use it. Unless Agent Microdose objects, but I think we probably should hold on to those as well.
Yeah, no. So I'm going to go to my kit, and I'm going to put some of these items in individual, evidence bags, if you will, just to kind of keep them as, as intact as possible since we're pulling them out of the suitcase.
Okay, or locker, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry, locker. Yeah.
Give me a forensics check on that knife you just got handed.
Okay. No modifier, right?
No modifier.
This is a spoon.
No, you don't have anything weird about that. Give me a medicine check, Agent
For me?
Okay.
Yeah. Medicine check. No modifier?
No modifier.
Hey!
Yeah, that bone handle I mentioned on that knife, it's made from human bone.
I comment, this bone density.
It's very obviously made from a human bone. And it's new-ish. If not as old as the rest of the knife.
Huh. The whole knife is newish or just the bone handle?
The bone handle.
Ah.
The human bone handle.
Yeah. Okay.
Does this knife speak to you at all?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get the feeling that he murdered other people and kept their body parts as tools and souvenirs.
Well, it would make sense, especially if he was some kind of serial killer. Most serial killers tend to keep trophies from their victims. So, realistically, if this was in fact a evidence case, then most of this stuff here there's a very good chance it's either part of the tools he used to kill with, or this is where he kept the trophies from his kill.
So yeah, I think we should prepare ourselves to run into some more weird shit. Yeah, I appreciate the insight because I think you're probably very, very correct.
Yeah. Huh.
Well,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to keep looking through the footlocker to see if there's any other quote unquote suspected trophies.
No, that's about it. Like the only kind of other trophy-ish thing is this 3 centimeter in diameter glass sphere.
Okay. Any weird markings or identifiers?
There's some markings on the knife, but beyond that, no, it's just kind of evidence tapes and books and files.
Okay.
Well, we also mentioned the bloody suit. And
yeah, we also have the bloody suit.
Bloody suit, and then you said some hair. That was like a lock of hair and teeth.
So do you want to inspect the the kind of the pouch of hair, teeth, and feathers?
Yes.
Yeah. So, hey, Agent Micro, do you have any way of seeing if that's his DNA on that, or someone else's?
Not here.
Scratch of what you'd have on you, kind of thing. But
yeah, not here. I'd have to take this back to the hotel room. I can probably do a little bit more kind of scanning. But honestly,
give me a forensics check though. Still.
All right. Okay, I did well on this one.
Yeah, so the hair you found doesn't seem to be human. It's got kind of an animal quality to it. You're not quite sure what animal. The teeth are from human infants, though, and the birds, they're blue in color. And there's a couple kind of like whitish, kind of beige ones.
So this is clearly not human.
Yeah, this is more animal.
Well, the teeth are. They're infant teeth.
Yeah, the teeth look like baby teeth. That's honestly not that disturbing, considering I do lab work. So I think the fact that it's just is that awkward that I don't feel weird finding baby teeth.
No, if you do forensics, you get very numb to it, I imagine.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I can watch a surgery go on video while eating lunch. So.
Yeah. Well, this looks like it's baby teeth. This here looks like some sort of animal tuft, if you will. The feathers, they're blue. I can probably do a rundown as far as what kind of birds are native to this area that would have blue feathers. But I don't know if there are any. I won't know for sure until we get back to the hotel and I pull up something online, perhaps.
So I delicately hand over the items to him, and to Agent Microdose.
Yeah, so I'll put each item individually grouped up, obviously, and like all the teeth go in one bag, the bird feathers go in another bag, the bloody suit I have to do in 2 bags because my bags aren't that big. So
leave it in the box too.
Yeah,
it's in a cardboard box, like it's in a separate box in the crate.
Yeah. Well, how big is this crate though? Because you said it's a footlocker.
Yeah, it's big enough that you can fit a suit and a box in it.
Okay. Well then, yeah, I'll just at least put it in the bags inside the case. Just because I don't want to tamper with it any more than I should. But yeah, I go ahead and just kind of get everything neatly organized, and I log everything in my book.
You're not going to read the files or anything like that?
Oh, I mean, we will. I'm just trying to log everything else right now. So
taking things one step at a time.
I'll hand the files over to Agent MK while I finish cataloging all the stuff we found.
All right.
So I reviewed through the files.
Give me a bureaucracy check.
Oh god. Okay. Yeah. No modifier.
No modifier.
Oh.
All right. So you can't quite make head nor tails of what exactly you're looking at, but it does kind of make seems to be a FBI investigation of some kind, and there is a folder marked the Scheel formula, SCHEEL formula, and that's a manila envelope marked that. It's kind of part of this, and it's empty. But beyond that, you're not quite sure what you're looking at. It's just kind of FBI reports of some kind.
Nothing stands out to me. Okay, and then isn't there another file on the Vinta Corporation?
That's what I'm talking about. Those are
those
files.
Yeah. Okay, those are the files. Okay, and then the FBI tape.
Do you have a way of playing a reel-to-reel tape?
Oh, it's a real tape. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the 60s era. No, I do not. Okay. I don't think many people would. I'm assuming this is 2020. So
I don't. Did you say cassette tape or VHS tape?
Reel-to-reel tape.
8mm reel.
Oh.
Yeah, in the aluminum cylindrical canister.
Oh yeah.
Girl. I mean, I guess we could go to a movie theater, play it through there. But that's true. Yeah, we could always ask our handler.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So basically, I think that does everything in the Vietnam locker.
Okay. Well, I've got pretty much everything cataloged. I can do my standard round of kind of just forensic testing when we get back to the hotel. Beyond that, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. You said this footlocker was under the bed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I check behind that to see if there's anything else under the bed?
Yeah, no, nothing there. It's just kind of a... Yeah.
Okay. So then I will say, what
are your two intelligences, out of curiosity? What are your intelligence scores?
My intelligence is
15.
What the hell is that? 17.
All right, so either one of you can give, or both of you can give me a roll at plus 20%.
Plus 20. Oh, Jesus.
Well, Microdose passed it. MK did not somehow, but so...
It was 97%.
As you're kind of looking around this room, yeah. Literally just barely didn't pass it, too. Like, that's the sad part.
Yeah.
So as you're looking around this kind of cabin, this thought dawns on you, Agent Microdose.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell does this place have a septic tank and an outhouse?
Well, in his note, he did mention that he was going to basically use this as a way to explode the cabin because he said burn all the evidence, from what I recall.
Yeah, but why does a cabin have an outhouse and a septic tank? And septic tanks are typically like buried way below ground, so they're not like leaching out. This one's kind of like partially buried and not like really well packed down or anything like that. That's again, I'll repeat. Why does a cabin have both a, as best you can tell, functioning outhouse and a poorly installed septic tank?
When you're hiding evidence in a septic tank, is my theory. But I still want to go investigate both, so let's start with the outhouse.
All right.
So, I'm going to go ahead and walk over to the outhouse and say, I had a weird thought, and I kind of want to take a look here. You don't find it odd that he's got both an outhouse and a septic tank?
No, I do find it very odd. I think, especially that, the septic tank's kind of partially obscured and easily accessible from the surface.
Yeah.
Also, his letter suggesting we want to get rid of stuff makes me really strongly wonder that he uses it as a place to hide stuff he stumbles upon during his missions, or if he's a serial killer. So he's using it to hide stuff. People don't like to go exploring in the septic tank, so it's a nice place to hide things you don't want people to find.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, most septic tanks get buried at least 4 inches to 4 feet underground. Well, so it being so janky and easily accessible, just kind of leads to the fact that it's a little suspicious.
Yeah, we're also gonna have to figure out how to, if we are to dispose of stuff in there, we'll have to figure out how to burn it and get away from it before it ignites, since it is all gas, all for methane and sulfuric gases.
Could be, but let's take a look at this outhouse first, and then we can look at the septic tank, because it's going to take a little bit of looking, and luckily we already have our face mask, so this will come in handy. Unfortunately,
we'll save the most concerning part, the most difficult part of the search for the last. Okay, so we walk up to the outhouse. We look around.
All right. So, what you doing at the outhouse? Like just inspecting it? What's the deal?
Yeah, just inspecting it, see if it is anything out of the ordinary from an outhouse.
All right. Give me a forensics check.
Okay.
For him, and then what about me? Is it a forensics check as well?
I'm not sure. Like, what do you have that would be applicable to inspecting this? Like I said, let's start with the forensics check.
I was gonna say search or okay. Yeah, I'll do a forensic. You want me to? Yeah, so I'll do a forensic.
Do you have forensic?
Let me see here. Forensic. I don't actually. No, I saw forensic somewhere.
It's on the list. I'm not sure if you have any training in it.
No, it's right under first aid.
Yeah.
I have no forensics training.
So that means it all comes down to agent microdose.
And I already rolled.
All right.
Yeah. So you poke around. It's a pretty normal outhouse, but at the same time, you establish that it's been a while since this was used. Like at least a month, maybe 2. So it's potentially been a while since Clyde was last out here. He died 3 or 4 days ago, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We'll call it like 5 days, because, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, this outhouse looks pretty old. So, or at least it's been a while since he's been here, which is kind of,
You gonna confirm the gases in the shed that he was talking about, or just gonna go straight to the septic tank?
No, I'm gonna go straight to the septic tank because there's
All right.
nothing. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary you mentioned in the outhouse.
He mentioned there's 20 gallons of gas in the shed, just for the
Oh,
record.
that's right. In the note, he had the gas. Okay, yeah, because I'm like, wait, well, gas like just the smell. Like, well, so yeah, I'll look in there, and is it like in just gallons stacked up in the outhouse, or?
So in this case, there are several kind of small, easily portable gas tanks, but it looks like a couple of them spilled or something like that. So we'll say that you're supposed to have, in theory, you could have 21 gallons of gas in here, like shaking the bottles and stuff like that. You're looking at probably closer to 7.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely got the gas here.
Not as much as he said, though.
Yeah. It's definitely doesn't look like it's the full amount. But yeah, no, this has been here for a while though. Huh.
I want to search the shed for more stuff. See if anything else.
It's just tools and stuff. Nothing.
Okay. Okay, so nothing out of the ordinary in the shed other than the gas tanks.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. So microdose. Quick question.
Yeah.
Should we bring these out there to the septic tank, or should we search the septic tank then come back and bring them out here? What do you think?
We will bring them out afterwards. I don't feel like moving a bunch of gas potentially around because it will also contaminate the site we're inspecting. So the less stuff we shuffle around with that, the better.
All right. Fair enough. Okay, then let's go investigate the septic tank.
Yeah. So we'll skedaddle on over to the septic tank. So septic tanks usually have an opening where you can let's see, I'm trying to.
Yeah, they're called inspection ports or inspection pipes.
Okay, so they usually have inspection that thing. How easily accessible is this inspection thing? Is it like it's sticking out, or is just kind of blatantly obviously there, or is it like a little bit recessed in? Like, give me kind of a breakdown on what that looks
Alright,
like.
so the septic tank is kind of a little bit off from the house kind of thing. It's towards the edge of the wood line, kind of in this little clearing the cabin resides in, and it's more in a shallow pit, I guess might be the way of thinking about it. Like it's almost like someone dug part of the way down, but then also kind of piled dirt around it at the same time.
So definitely not a pro job, is what you're saying.
No, definitely not a pro job. The entrance hatch is accessible and uncovered kind of thing, but it's padlocked shut from the outside.
You're talking about like the manhole cover?
How familiar are you two with septic tanks?
Not very familiar.
So
I mean,
manhole
you're in.
cover is close enough, but like it's a hatch kind of thing. Like it's got hinges.
Oh, okay, yeah, like something you could like. Yeah, okay, yeah, looking hatch.
It is locked shut, for the record.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said we have a key ring with multiple keys, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, guess time to see what we can open up.
Okay.
So we run through the keys, and we try to see if any of them open up the lock.
Yeah, there's one that fits the lock as best you can tell. So, just gonna pop the lid on this thing.
Before I do, I'm going to say, how familiar are you with opening up septic tanks or being involved in this stuff?
Familiar enough that I'm glad I have the mask, and I will also pull out my firearm.
Okay. Well, then let's.
If you find
let's go ahead
anything
and-
about us that's unpleasant.
Yeah, it's just the smell's very strong potentially. So just kind of brace yourself.
Just gonna lose sanity over the smell.
I mean, depending on how you feel about it.
No, I mean, like, what do you call it? Yeah, you do sanity loss.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Let's. I'm bracing myself as much as I can.
Okay, perfect. So then, let's go ahead and pop that bad boy open.
All right. We lift it open.
Yep.
All right, so you notice a couple things. One, the kind of hinge mechanism for this thing, it's in really good condition. And two, someone has removed the ladder from that you could use to get out of the septic tank. In theory, like there's an access ladder inside of it that's been removed.
So the access ladder's removed, but it's accessible from the top. I'm gonna go into my kit and grab a flashlight and see if I can kind of get a better view of what's inside.
All right. So you shine the light down inside of it.
Yep.
Give me an alertness roll.
Oh boy.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
No
fact that you
modifier.
have to,
No modifier.
the fact that you have to ask for an alertness roll when I'm looking down a fucking.
Oh God. Oh really? I have 88%. He has a 5%. Calm the fuck up.
All right, so you're seeing inside of it, and kind of things aren't quite adding up. There is some liquid in the bottom of this thing, but not a lot. Like it's definitely not being used as a septic tank. Like we'll say, like
What's the odor? Is it like a septic tank, or is it not at all like a septic tank?
doesn't smell like a septic tank. Ironically, like it just kind of smells damp and large and metal and like the woods. It's kind of light bouncing. It's bouncing off some liquid at the bottom. You're pretty sure is water of some kind, but yeah.
Okay. Did we encounter a ladder anywhere in the shed or the cabin?
There's one in the shed.
Okay. Micro, you think we should go grab a ladder and kind of go down?
Sure. Yeah, we can definitely. Well, I'm gonna take a whiff before I head down there because if it's what I think it is, I don't really feel like getting my clothes dirty. So, are there any of the usual smells of a septic tank in there?
Nah, none of them.
None of them at all.
None of them at all.
Just like damp and woods, or like an empty septic tank that's never been used.
Oh boy. Yeah. So then, I'm gonna regret going in there. I already know it. Yeah. Let's go ahead and head down there. Here, I have a extra pair of. I didn't give you goggles before, did I? Agent MK.
Okay, thank you. I will. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, just. This is gonna. This is gonna get really interesting. Okay, so. How deep is this?
I give the dimensions of the tank if you want. Is that what you're asking?
I guess
Yeah.
my question is, if I were to fall in, can I hop out?
No, you'd have to take a ladder out, kind of thing. So the tank's dimensions are kind of 6 feet by 6 feet by 10 feet.
Okay.
So it's kind of 6
Empty
feet wide
deep?
by 6 feet tall by 10 feet long.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, after kind of looking around in there and saying, okay, we should go back and look for a ladder because there's a very good chance if we fall in here, we're not getting out with any kind of assistance, without any kind of assistance.
Yeah, we should go. I saw a ladder over by the shed.
Okay. Let's also grab some rope, just because. Let's see if there's any rope over there. Just we can tie it
Yeah.
off to a local tree or to a tree nearby, and at least we can also. We have multiple options.
No, that's a great idea. Let us get the rope set up as well.
Okay. So,
Cool.
how far is the closest tree to the entrance of the septic tank?
Like 5-10 feet. You can tie off to it pretty easy. Also, you have enough rope too.
Okay, perfect. That was our next question, was if we have enough rope for it. But yeah, okay, cool. So then, yeah, we'll drop the rope down there first, and then we will lower the... Do we find a ladder that's enough to reach down there and still have ample coverage? Okay,
Ladders,
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then we've got both avenues there. All right, let's go ahead and let's head on down here. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
You know what? I'll go first. You've been so helpful.
Okay.
So, could you just hand me the flashlight?
Yep. So I hand him my flashlight.
All right. So then I go down there with my gun.
Okay, so you are down in the tank.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an alertness.
Oh God. No modifier.
No modifier. It's dark down there.
Oh man.
Got your flashlight.
Oh God.
Okay. No, that's good. You got a critical. So
critical.
as you're about kind of half.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
you're about kind of halfway down the ladder, and you hear what you swear is almost like a splashing, like real faint, like maybe something's in the water or something like that. And you get down there, and you kind of shoot you kind of huddled in one of the corners of the tank. You see a humanoid-like figure. But it appears to be a female of some kind. She's very pale. She's crying in the corner. Slightly older woman of some kind. She's very deliberately not looking at you. She's very pale, kind of very malnourished looking. Her hair's fallen out some.
Oh God. Okay. So
what do you do?
I see. Okay, so I see the lady there. She's at the other corner. She doesn't see me yet. I am going to go back up and let Agent Microdose know what I saw.
I'm not sure you have the time to do that necessarily. Like you kind of like get down there and you see her as you get to the base. Like you have to get all the way down the ladder before you kind of see before you see her.
Basically, I can't run. Okay.
Probably not. No.
Yeah. So then.
Well, so let's paint the scene. So you're standing at the bottom of the ladder in the septic tank. We'll say you took like a step or two off of it. You see this just unbelievably pale woman crying in the corner of the septic tank, like corner quotations on that. You got this flashlight trained on her. Do you have your gun out at this point?
Yes, I do.
All right.
It's pointed at her.
What do you do?
So my flashlight is pointed right at her.
Yep.
Okay. I call at her. I say, "Hello? Excuse me?
Hello? Oh my God! There's someone here." She's still not turning around to face you, though. Please, my husband, he put me in here. Please, it's so cold. I've been here for so long. He's a monster.
What? I don't approach her, but I still keep on talking to her from the distance. I back up and put a hand on the ladder. Or actually, not put a hand on because I still have to have the hand on the flashlight. So I'm backed up and I'm against the ladder, and I'm like, "What do you mean? Who are you?"
My name's Marlene. My husband, he was named Clyde. He put me down here.
Why did he put you down here?
I don't know. He was abusive and horrible, and I don't know.
How long have you been down here?
I don't know. You really can't see the sun from here. This a very long time. He comes by and feeds me occasionally. Mostly I'm just down here all by myself in the dark.
We can help you out of the tank. Would that sound nice to you?
Thank you so much.
Could you turn around and face us slowly?
I suppose I can do that. All right,
Okay.
so this woman starts to kind of stand up, and you kind of very rapidly notice a couple things that you missed somehow previously. Her body is wrong. Like the skin on her arms is moving a little kind of sloshily almost. Now that she's standing, you can see that kind of like she's swollen from extended time in the water. She's wearing kind of like just tatters of clothing. And she kind of like slowly starts to turn to face you. And give me a dodge roll.
A dodge roll. Oh god. Okay. Modifiers?
You get nothing on this one.
Fuck.
Oof.
Oh.
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 Okay, so she just rockets across the floor of this thing, like half bounding, half pouncing, and just hits you to the ground. And when you get, now that you're real close, she is absolutely corpse-like. Her skin is just this type of translucent pale. You can see the veins. There's a hungry look in her eyes. Like everything about this is wrong, and she just kind of starts clawing at you with her hands.
Okay.
You're that's what guys to dodge it though at first. So she's like pinning you to the ground. She's clawing at you in the bottom, kind of in the water at the bottom of this tank. What's your dex?
My dexterity is 11.
All right. What's your dex, Alex?
My dex currently is 12.
All right. So it's gonna go this thing, Alex, and then Jim. Okay, cool. So Alex, your turn. What's up?
Well, did I end up climbing down there with him? I don't
thought you were
remember
at the top still. Did you
Yeah,
climb down? Like, I don't know at this
I
point.
think I did. No, I didn't. That's right. I was trying to verify it because I heard like both you when you were narrating, you're saying both you guys see something over there.
Yeah.
So, can I see? Like, is it light enough that I can see where?
It's night out. I
and-
suspect you like see the flashlight go like spinning off in the septic tank, and you hear sounds of a scuffle, but you don't see what's going on down there right now unless you get another flashlight out of some kind.
Okay. Well, I usually carry two of things, or at least like stuff like that with me anyway. So I'm gonna quickly grab my other flashlight and look down there and see, and yell out, "Agent MK, are you all right?"
I'm under attack. There's someone here.
All right, so we have to do this in turns now. So you're kind of yelling down at what's up. So now to Agent MK, you were kind of pinned at the bottom of this tank by this thing. It's trying to scratch and bite and get at you. What are you gonna do? You gonna try and like resist? Are you gonna try and roll her off? What's the plan?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna roll her off.
All right, so give me a strength check.
Strength check. No modifier.
No modifier. Nice. So you kind of kind of kick her off.
Okay. And then
no, that's it. That is it. You
okay.
one thing.
Okay, one thing. Okay, I knock her off. 3, okay.
So you're now in the dark. Your kind of flashlight's aiming off in random direction, and you just kind of hear splashes coming at you, and you just kind of feel a fist collide with your stomach for 4 points of damage.
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
Okay. 4 points of damage. Okay. So I'm at 6.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and that means that it is now Agent Microdose's turn. So you're kind of looking down. You're hearing scuffle sounds. You got your flashlight out. Like, what you doing?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna head down there real quick. Then
You're gonna jump down in there with him.
Yeah.
All right.
So I have to do any kind of roll for that?
Just give me a dex one. Are you jumping or are you taking down the elevator? Or are you taking the
I'm
ladder
gonna
down?
take the ladder down.
Okay, cool. That'll be your turn then.
Okay.
All right, so Agent MK, it's your turn again. What are you doing? This thing is just kind of hit you hard. It's dark in here. You can't really see all that well. What's the plan? Trying to find a flashlight? You trying to? What you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and find a flashlight.
All right, so you're gonna kind of scramble around to do that. Give me a search at +20 because it's a bright light and kind of a weird dark space. It shouldn't be too hard to find.
Search +20. Oh no.
You're kind of fumbling in the water. It's hard to see. Yeah, no, and I got news for you.
Oh.
Ooh. So she just kind of like latches onto you and sinks her teeth deep into you for 5 points of damage.
Damn.
God.
This thing is
Okay,
just
so now
tearing at you.
I am down at 1. Okay, great. Oop. Okay, so I guess it goes back to Agent Microdose.
Yep. Oh, yeah, it's Microdose's turn now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna shine my light in that direction and charge over to try to defend Agent NK.
All right, so you're gonna charge an attack, or what's the plan?
Yep, charge and attack.
All right, so you're gonna try and hit it.
Yep.
What are you hitting it with? Like your fists?
It's gonna catch these hands. Yeah.
All right. See that unarmed?
All right. No modifier, right?
No modifier.
Catch these hands.
All right. So give me a 1d4 -1 roll.
Wait, to me?
Okay.
Or
No,
to
no,
him?
to her.
Okay.
You hit it.
Okay, so one. How do I do that? Roll /roll 1d4
-1.
-1.
Yep.
Like that.
Yep. So it's 3. Awesome.
Yeah. Catch these fucking hands. Okay, so I punched it really hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got some kung fu in there, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
yeah.
my turn.
Is it enough to like knock him back or knock it back?
It hits it. It's strong though, for the record. Like this thing is not the sickly woman it appears to be.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Was it enough to stun it at least?
Yeah,
least,
you
like-
just punched it.
Okay. Is it like
Agent
one of those things where
MK,
like when
you're pretty fucked up right now. Like what are you gonna do now?
I mean, is there enough light at this point with him in there for me to see where she's
Yeah,
at?
yeah, you can see probably by now.
Okay, I pull out my gun and I shoot her.
All right, so I meant to mention this. At 2 HP, you fall unconscious. You are at 1 HP.
Oh yeah, I'm at 1 HP.
Yeah, so give me a contest.
A contest? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Constitution.
Yep.
Okay. No modifier.
Yep.
come on. Oh.
Oh. So then, what do I do? What are my options?
All right, so I'm trying to figure this one out. All right. Give me 1 sec.
Agent MK, no!
Well, that was a
He
illustrious career.
So you're gonna
wasn't
lose.
ready.
You're gonna take -5 from your strength. So just slap a -5 on that. You got real banged up on that one.
Okay, so -5.
Yep.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna go down to 5.
No.
So
So it should be like you should have a score of like 55, or like you should have like a ×10 number next to your thing. So drop that down by 5.
Oh, the times number?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not letting me
Yeah,
do
we can't modify that.
Yeah, that's
Fair
great.
Fair enough. Yeah, no. So just subtract it from what you have then, because that's a pretty major hit to your strength.
Okay, great.
That one fucked you up pretty badly. All right, so it's this thing's turn again.
Oh boy.
So Agent MK is unconscious. It's gonna kind of go after Agent Microdose now. It also gets you, man.
Oh, I can't even see these rolls.
For 7 points of damage.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ. All right, so I'm going to set my health to... You said for 7?
Yeah.
All right, I'm at 3 HP.
All right, so you are still barely remaining conscious. Yeah.
Is it my turn now?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to reach for Agent MK's gun and open fire.
All right, so give me a search.
Search?
Yep.
Any extra rolls or...
No, this was like a thing I'd throw negatives at you in theory for, but...
Oh, God.
All right, so you find the gun because I'm feeling nice. I'm gonna let you shoot it.
All right. Do I have to roll firearms?
Firearms.
1d8, I think.
He has to roll firearms first.
Oh, yeah.
Ah!
Doesn't connect. Kind of ricochets around inside there with you. Agent MK, give me a con roll.
Con roll?
Yep.
Okay. Modifier, none?
Yep, none.
Hey!
All right, so I'm gonna let you kind of come back to consciousness. That unfortunately is your turn, and this dear weird thing in the tank with you is now gonna try and tackle Agent Microdose.
Okay, so then obviously it's now facing Agent Microdose.
Yep.
So,
all right, so it successfully kind of knocks Agent Microdose to the ground. It's kind of trying to pin him right now. But now it is Agent Microdose's turn again. What you gonna do? This thing's kind of hold you down. It's got you grappled. It's kind of like snatching its teeth at you. You're up real close with a 55-year-old woman corpse.
Oh.
This is where nightmare fetishes are made, boys.
I don't know if I call it a fetish, but okay.
Okay, so you said it's my turn now, then?
Yep.
Okay.
So my action was just getting up. Basically.
Okay. So, can I still fire at her? Do I still have the gun in my hand, kind of thing?
You can try, yeah. Like you in theory have it. I'll even give you a modifier for that 'cause it's point blank.
Okay.
You plus 10 on that.
Cool. So I'm gonna roll plus 10 on that. Ah! Where were my gun rolls earlier?
Does not connect, and this thing's just kind of holding on to you right now. Agent MK, you are barely conscious due to some rule bending right now. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna try to help out Agent Microdose at this point.
You gonna hit it? You gonna shove her? What's the plan?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it.
All right.
So I'm gonna grab a flashlight. That's the other flashlight that's still rolling around.
Sure.
Okay, and then I attack her with it.
All right.
What do I do? Do I do a power or do I do
There should be a melee weapon.
a melee? Okay, melee.
Yeah, a melee weapon.
Melee, just unarmed.
You could also try to hit her with the ladder.
Oh, there we go. Melee. Okay, I'm ready. So, any modifiers?
Nah, I'll give you a plus 10 because she's not focused on you.
Okay. Just oh my God! You give me a
miss, and the thing like slides out of your hand because it's wet from all the water in there. It kind of goes skidding off inside of the tank. If you want to use that thing again, you're gonna have to go find it. And so she's gonna attempt to start trying to. Fuck it. I'll stop being nice. She's gonna kind of stand back up and starts cackling at you as you're doing this. Like she's having the time of her life with you idiots down here. don't know why you got in a tank that someone said you should burn the crap out of the contents of it, but hey. All right, Agent.
You're learning that the next time I see something weird, I just shoot it. That is rule number 1.
Agent Microdose, your turn.
Do I still have the gun in my hand?
You do. I'll say you do.
Okay. How close is she to me? Would it be point blank again?
She is standing over you, just cackling maniacally.
Okay.
God.
I'm gonna try to shoot her center mass, as best as I can.
All right. So you try to do a special shot of some kind?
Well, center mass is the biggest part of the target you could shoot somebody in.
But there are like called shots inside that do double damage, or they can do double damage.
Okay. Well, then
What is your firearm stat?
40.
Do not do what I'm about to tell you to do. Yeah, just fire normally.
Okay. Do I still get the modifier because she's pretty point blank, or?
Yeah, I'll say you get the +10 still.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Why is it when the heat is on, my rolls are garbage?
Agent MK, your turn.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna take a cue from Agent Microdose and grab the ladder and attack her with it.
Just make some distance between us.
You're gonna grab the ladder and try and hit her with it. Got it. All right, give me a. I guess give me a melee attack.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah, you know what? We're not gonna escape, and I feel like shit leaving Agent Microdose behind, so I'm not going.
It is some smackdown up in this bitch.
Remember, we also put rope up. We also put rope. So even without the ladder, we still have the rope to get out.
Well, it's like the ladder's going to break as part of this, too. In theory, if you survive, you can get out via the ladder. Yeah, do the melee weapon roll for your dumb smackdown idea.
No modifiers?
No modifiers. Swinging a ladder inside of a septic tank.
Oh, come on!
You're kidding me. Jeez. Okay, yeah, I miss. What happens now?
All right, so it's once again this thing's turn. It's going to kind of turn its attention back to Agent Microdose and just kind of... Does a 5 kill you?
5 potentially. Yeah, no, a 5 does kill me because I was at 3.
She just drives her foot through your chest.
Okay. Bye.
Leaving Agent MK with 1 point of health left, brandishing a ladder here in the septic tank. Agent MK, you're up.
Can I see his gun and grab it?
Yeah, fuck it. I'll let you do it in this instance. Why not? It's your gun, technically.
It's my gun, and okay. So I am ready to shoot at her.
Okay, go for it.
So firearm, and then any modifier. I guess point blank.
I'm giving you a lot of leeway in this action right now, so no.
Okay. And I just Jesus. Okay, here we go. Oh my god! What?
We are the shittiest fucking special agents. When I recreate my character, I'm dumping everything into fucking handguns.
I know.
We're gonna talk about this in a couple seconds. Don't worry. Like, this is not the typical, I guess. So let's let this one play out. So
I'm just gonna shoot everything.
Your shot ricochets around the inside here and misses. And just to kind of put the end of the suffering in this one.
Oof.
There we go.
Marlene does indeed kind of, she walks over and just tears your head off, kind of thing, like just with all her strength. Gets the ladder, climbs out of the tank, and disappears off into the night.
Clyde is going to tell us in the afterlife, you idiots should have fucking listened to my note.
Yeah, suffice to say, you have failed. This was not a successful operation. Your characters, if this was not just kind of this weird one-off thing we were doing right now, would be dead. So I have never seen this go this way before. You two are the first people to ever get down in the tank with Marlene. Ever.
Well, people just pour gasoline down and just set it alight.
So the way these types of pre-written things are done is they're kind of at handler discretion, and kind of it's one of those ones where typically what happens is people open the tank and they look inside, and they're kind of being stealthy enough that eventually Marlene presents herself. You guys, I kind of saw something was weird, went, okay, cool, we're gonna go to the ladder. Like you basically like you rushed kind of things, for lack of a better. It's like, to be fair, you guys like you missed a couple other things. I tried kind of giving you the hint of it's really weird that there's a septic tank here. That there's like there's a bunch of hints about how like this thing seems like all the plumbing's been detached from the septic tank as though it's trying to contain something.
Confinement unit.
Hmm?
It's basically a prison for something.
Yeah. So, Marlene is kind of a weird. I give you to explain the whole scenario from the handler standpoint. I think partially you guys decided early on Clyde was a serial killer of some kind, and this is part of why we're doing this game, I guess, to kind of give you guys a bit of a crash course in Delta Green and kind of the things going on. Delta Green is made up of a bunch of pseudo-terrorists and definitely criminals kind of thing. Like everything you're doing as a Delta Green operation is very close to being illegal, if not like definitely criminal at almost any given point in time kind of thing. Like,
okay, yeah.
And the idea that like you guys got kind of hung up on it, it's like, oh, Clyde's obviously doing some bad things. Well, yeah, but so are you guys technically. Like you are actively kind of covering up like a death scene. Like admittedly nothing bad happened there, but you aren't supposed to be there because you're not the cop investigating it. Yeah. Yeah, so the way that one typically goes is agents like Marlene makes herself a little more known, kind of thing, a little more hesitancy about looking into it. You guys investigate from outside the tank a little bit better, and 9 out of 10 times the gas gets dumped inside of there. I made some alterations to it where I was going to have you guys have to go off and like find more gas. There wasn't going to be enough gas to fill the tank and burn it, kind of thing, and wasn't sure where that was going to go. Again, I have never seen anyone get down in the tank before. I've never had players get in the tank with Marlene. That is impressively different.
I'm curious, what were her hit points?
So, and kind of the thing we've talked about in the past, but kind of like to put this one in perspective, she has 23 hit points. She is a monster.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the Wendigo was like, I mean, even though it got shot a few times.
It's like, so a couple things could have helped you guys out. If you've been wearing body armor, that does often take a bunch of the sting out of the attacks. I was also rolling unbelievably well. We had a couple kind of crits back to back, which does a pretty good job of boosting the damage kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, I think I only had like 2 successful rolls in the entire session.
Yes, and that is part of the problem. Like, so, and before you guys kind of get discouraged and say we made bad characters, they're not. They're pretty good characters for what they're doing. Delta Green just isn't. It's a game that's kind of about spiraling failure slowly. It's about kind of being. It's about using your situation to kind of help you work through that. Like, it's one of those ones where there was more investigating that could have been done. There was kind of some more stuff you guys could have delved into. You got unlucky that you missed some stuff at his apartment because you guys didn't roll well for him. That's not your fault. That's just kind of bad luck at that point. There's a couple more hints I was going to throw at you there about some weirdness. Yeah, I
get it now. Like,
aside from getting down in the tank, not a bad kind of first kind of higher stakes version of this kind of thing. Like the other game of this we've played was kind of this crash course in Delta Green and a little bit like, hey, we had to sign off a person that was playing, so we kind of like sped through some stuff. But yeah, like, so stealth, tactics, spycraft, they're your bread and butter in Delta Green. Like, you have to be real careful and deliberate as you're making your way through this type of stuff. Like, but at the same time, like, you guys got unlucky. But at the same time, though, too, maybe don't climb down into the cage that's containing the thing that might or might not be there, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's very reasonable. I guess for me, I was just kind of like, let's see what happens. Like, kind of like make it entertaining. But in reality, I probably should have. You're right. Like,
no, yeah, and it's the fine line between playing smart and playing entertaining for this type of stuff, and I totally get that. Yeah, and it's also one of those ones where, like, my other piece of advice was like, Alex, you could have just left him for dead and dumped the gas down there.
Oh shit!
Like
Yeah.
that's how I would have recovered from this situation. Like it's one of those ones where chances of him getting out are very low, and Delta Green priority is containment and destruction. And if Agent MK is a casualty of this situation, better he dies and so does the thing in the tank than the thing in the tank got out like it did.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, because I guess it has a ladder. Well, we're both dead, so it ain't our problem anymore.
Yeah, and we're not gonna make this death permanent kind of thing. This was just kind of a crash course to get you guys a little more used to this system. And from a teaching this game and kind of the weirdnesses that are Delta Green, this was a fantastic example of like how fast shit can just go wrong on you as players.
Oh yeah. Now, I have learned, be very cautious, shoot first.
Don't always shoot first, but also shoot first with some frequency. Like I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't quite sure how much more I could describe a zombie without saying the word zombie.
No, I know, but I was almost like, I could shoot her, or I could just climb up the stairs and be like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
I did try to climb up the stairs, but he said I couldn't, so I was like, yeah. But no, like I said, valuable lesson learned.
No, that's Delta Green. Like we will burn through a bunch of your characters as we play through this game. Like that's kind of how Delta Green goes, for better or worse. It is a inherently brutal game. Like again, you guys didn't do anything wrong. There's some stuff you could have done smarter. Like it's a level of caution is definitely something I recommend in these circumstances. But also from a pure hilarity of Delta Green gone wrong, top tier. Like that. This is like, okay, we're doing WWE inside the septic tank with Marlene. Fucking fantastic.
Delta Green Marlene, and there's an image that pops up of Marlene looking out at you from inside the septic tank. And I was like, oh, damn, that. If I had seen that, I might have not got the ladder.
Wait, there's a picture?
Oh, yeah, there is.
Hang on, let me show you, see if I could put it in here.
It's appropriately creepy.
You see it? Oh, no.
It's, I just Googled it here.
Oh, yeah, it's the first thing that'll pop up if you type in Delta Green Marlene. And go to images.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, with the green eyes.
Yep, nope. Nope.
I was like, oh, yep. That's gasoline. Get the gasoline.
Yeah.
I done goofed.
Yeah, and again, like certain handler liberties get taken on this one. Like, I think I think next time I run this one, I'm gonna kind of maybe make her looking up at the tank at you because, maybe I wouldn't have gotten down the tank, but at the same time, though, too, you guys didn't see anything wrong. Just a suspicious amount of not septic in the septic tank, which
we should have. The note should have really done the thing.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where kind of like you're not wrong. Like, the fine line between Delta Green agent and serial killer is actually a fine line. Like they are a little bit psycho murderers, and as we play more of this, you'll kind of get more used to the idea that like. You guys aren't wizards. You're not trying to be Harry Potter. You are federal and kind of local agents who are smashing priceless relics to dust because their existence is too dangerous.
Woo.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That is Last Things Last, or this Sunday, Last Things Last. Like, wow. A good improv at the end, trying to recover, though. I give you points for that. That was a good kind of scramble at the end.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah. No, yeah. If you guys got more questions, I can answer them. But I also think like it's like okay, yep, we understand we did wrong. We got
Yeah, no, we were more interested in making it entertaining than we are about not dying.
Well, it's a fine line. Like it's.
I hope you look forward to doing a lot of individual stories because I have a feeling we're going to do some dumb shit every time.
I know.
We're going to be dead more often.
Like I said, this is going to definitely be. There's a dark cave with weird shit going over it. We're not gonna go down there.
Yeah, no.
And I will keep killing your characters until you learn to maybe not go right down the dark hallway.
Yeah,
you'll go down eventually, but like maybe go down with a shotgun or something, or like fill the thing with gas and then go down there.
Yeah.